G. Stanley Hall, A Study in Adolescence. More than 100 years ago, G. Stanley Hall was an advocate for adolescents. He questions how they should be taught. Educators today are always at odds on how best to teach students, including middle school and high school students. At a time when children were often overlooked or expected to remain in the background, Dr. Hall was a pioneer in the work of adolescents. In 1904, he made the quote that in adolescence, new qualities of the body and soul now emerge, suggestive of some ancient period of storm and stress. Ahead of his time, Professor Hall also argued that students in high school should focus more on the education of adolescents rather than preparing them for college and taking the traditional subjects, which is a subject still debated today. Dr. Hall was born in 1844 and died in 1924. He accomplished many firsts in his life. He was involved in psychology at an exciting time when things were evolving in new directions. Dr. Hall was the first to receive a Ph.D. in psychology from Harvard University in 1878. He then spent a couple of years studying in Europe with pioneers of the discipline. Upon his return, he developed the first physical laboratory at Johns Hopkins University. John Dewey and James Cattell also happened to be students there at the time. Another first for Dr. Hall was the founding president of Clark University. Over a period of 30 years, Hall began 4 journals. One of these was the American Journal of Psychology. This journal was for the purpose of combining research of educators and those in the field of psychology and academics. He did some lecturing at Harvard and Johns Hopkins University. In 1892 and again in 1924, he was president of the American Psychological Association. He also accommodated Sigmund Freud on his only visit to the United States of America. Dr. Hall is the author of a 2-volume book titled Adolescents, Its Psychology and Its Relation to Physiology, Anthropology, Sex, Religion, Crime, Religion, and Education. Dr. Hall felt that psychology was not enough to understand the world of adolescence that he spent so much time on researching. He felt that other subjects must be studied to fully understand adolescence. His study was far-reaching, and he spent time on a variety of historical themes such as puberty in ancient Greece, education for black children, economics in various ways, medieval religious rites of passages, religious missionary programs around the globe, military history, and a lot of other topics, all in an effort to understand adolescence. He strived to have a variety of professionals working on the study of youths. In 1909 and 1910, he had conferences to gather a variety of workers in fields such as child linguistics, recreation, teaching, juvenile delinquency, social work, public health, and more. Dr. Hall contributed a lot to the knowledge of the understanding of adolescents and children. Dr. Hall did his research and brought people together to enhance this age group. Today, there are many types of groups that meet to further understand and benefit the world of preteens and teenagers. Some of these groups are the International Association of Adolescents, Professionals Developing Adolescents, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychology, and Educators for Adolescents. Conferences are held at the regional, state, national, and international areas to improve understanding to work with young people in what can be a difficult time in their life. This is due in part to the work that G. Stanley Hall began over a year ago. This article was written with the help of the Journal of Research on Adolescence, written by Ronald E. Dahl and Ahmed R. Harari, University of Pittsburgh. Lessons from G. Stanley Hall, connecting new research in biological studies to the science of adolescent development.